Hello, guys. Yeah, it's Deb, the travel hacker, and I am back. And we are going to talk about how you can earn free travel with groups. Okay, I hope that you guys are staying on board and that you're not too confused by the things that we've already talked about. And just remember that if you are, we do have our Q&A coming up on Thursday, this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook group. So just remember that. So jot those questions down. If you're confused in any way, make sure you jot those questions down so that we can talk about that in our session. Okay? So let's get started. Now, group travel is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite ways to send people on free trips. Now, with group travel, you can earn cruises, you can earn hotel stays, and in some cases, you can also earn airfare. Now, each group travel requirement is different based on where you want to go, how you want to get there, and where you want to stay. Okay, now to earn your free travel with groups is mainly based on the size of your group. Now, there are different requirements for each vendor or supplier that you use. And when I say suppliers or vendors, this is considered either the place that you want to stay or the way that you want to travel. For example, Carnival Cruise Lines is a supplier or a vendor. Marriott is a supplier or a vendor. Airlines is a supplier or a vendor. So these are the people that you're actually going to be booking with. So whenever you hear me say supplier or vendor, that is exactly what I mean. Now, the group travel concept is great for churches, organizations, clubs, reunions, class or families, reunions, weddings, anniversaries, or maybe just a simple family vacation. Anywhere groups are already formed is a great start. So if you are a part of any of these that were mentioned, you are ahead of the game. Now, this concept of earning free trips will take a little more time, a little more work on your part, but I'm going to break it down for you. And remember, I'm here to help you along the way. So first, what I need you to do is decide where you want to go. So go back to that list that I had you compile in the beginning and decide, where do you want to take your first trip? Okay? When do you want to go? How long do you want to stay? How do you want to get there? How do you want to travel to this place? And where would you like to stay? I want you to go ahead and write those things down because we're going to need all of this before you can do anything. Okay? So, second, I'm going to need you to make a list, guys. Just make a list of everyone you know. Now, don't get caught up in whether or not they'll travel or go on this trip because the reality is you really don't know what they will do, right? So write their name down on that list anyway. Now, once you have completed those tasks, now it's time to start talking with the vendors. Let's talk about some of the requirements for a few of the vendors. Now, keep in mind that every vendor or supplier's requirements are different, even if they're in the same chain. So, we're gonna talk about Riu Resorts. Riu Resorts has properties all over the place, but each one of those properties has its own requirements as to their group travel and how you can earn free trips. Okay, so let's talk about cruises. Cruises are the most convenient way to travel free, guys. With most cruise lines, you can earn a free cruise when you have 7 to 8 cabins booked. 7 to 8 cabins. That's only That's only 8 couples, right? Only 8 couples. I know 8 couples I can name right off the top of my head. Right off the top of my head, right? So remember when I talked a little bit about not only can you travel free with groups, but you also earn some extra perks. Remember we talked about that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about some of the extra perks that could be included when you cruise, but it's not limited to these. These are just a few. So some of the perks are you can get champagne in your room, you can get a cabin credit, you can possibly get an upgrade, maybe to a suite or just an upgrade from where you are. And these are just to give you a few ideas of what to expect. You could get a carry-on bag, a robe. There's just a lot of little things that you can get. And these are also great ideas for fundraisers. So if you're in any of these organizations, you can travel free while earning monies or raising monies for your favorite charity. So you can do that as well. Now, that's cruises, and most of the cruises requirements for groups and earning your free travel are pretty much the same. Just the perks may be a little bit different, okay? And how many cabins you need to have booked might be slightly different, but for the most part, you're gonna get the same information or have to have the same type of requirements for all cruises. All right, so let's talk about those resorts. And I mentioned that Riu Resorts was one of my favorite, and that's the Riu Resort Montego Bay. Now remember, each resort, like I said, has its own set of requirements. Now I use Riu Montego Bay quite often because I just love their program, and it's easier to earn free travel through them, okay? So now their requirement to earn your free travel is for every 5 people that have paid, the 6th person is free, right? The 6th person is free. So all you have to have is 5 of your friends. That's it, 5 of your friends. And it's not that they have to have, you don't have to have 5 rooms, like some of the other ones. You only have to have 5 people traveling, and the 6th person go free. So just think about it. If you had 10 of your friends that would go with you to Montego Bay, and you guys stayed at the Riu, you and someone else will actually get to go free, right? How easy is that? Isn't that cool? You get to go absolutely free. Yay! So just to say that, I also want to tell you a little bit about some of the perks that you can earn. Now remember, the more people that you have in your group, the more perks you earn. Okay? The better the perks. The more people, the better the perks. So some of the perks that you can earn at Riu is you can earn a free upgrade for every 10 rooms. So again, if you had 10 rooms, you can get an upgrade. You can get a welcome sign with your group's name on it if you wanted it. You can get a fruit basket and wine for the VIP, which means that's you, right? You are the VIP because you are bringing these people in. You are bringing this group in. So you are going to have wine and fruit basket in your room, right? Now, semi-private group dinner. You can earn a semi-private group dinner, which means that it may be some other groups in that dinner, but your group can go into this private dinner. Because a lot of times with these all-inclusive resorts, of course, you're eating at the buffet and everybody is eating in these places. But as your group, you can earn a semi-private group dinner, which means other groups may be in that private dinner, but you're not out at the public buffet. So that is something that you can earn as a perk as well. Now, another thing, if you have 20 plus rooms, you can get a private check-in. Now, how cool is that? To not have to walk up to the check-in desk or stand in line, that your group has its own private check-in. Okay? So can you see or can you tell that the more people that you have in your group, the better your perks? Now, let's talk about regular hotels like your Days Inn, your Holiday Inn, your Marriott's, okay? Most of these hotels that are in your local cities, they require you to book 20 rooms to get one comp room. So anywhere between 20 to 21 rooms, then you earn a free room. So now that's more like 40 people. And as you can see, to earn free travel at a hotel in the city, it can happen. It just takes more work to make it happen. Okay? This is the time that you might use the credit card concept if you just want to earn a free hotel night stay. Okay? Now, here is something you need to know about these vendors, and this is that they love groups. They need and want us to bring these groups. This is how they make their money, right? If their hotel, cruise ship, or airline is empty, guys, they don't make any money. I say that to say that sometimes there is room for negotiation, okay? Because they want us there with these groups, okay? Now, you have a list. You have a list of where you would like to travel free. Now it's time to work on the other specifics. Now the next step is to decide how you want to travel there and where you want to stay. So download the PDFs and do a little research, okay? Now let me say one thing before I go a little further. Now, if you are the type of person that are sitting there saying, oh my God, I've done this group thing before. I don't know, I can't get people to pay. I don't think I want people to travel with me. Okay? I completely understand that. But the key is that you have to have a group. It doesn't necessarily mean that you got to hang out with that group. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to entertain that group. Because remember, wherever you're going, for the most part, it's going to be a place where people can entertain themselves. Or the resort or the cruise line has plenty of things that they can do to entertain themselves. Okay, so don't worry about that. Don't get caught up in, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, because I am gonna show you some things and some ways and some concepts and some things that's gonna help you if that's you. But if you are that person who is that people person, you are in your church organization, or you are a member of all these clubs and organizations, and, then you won't have a problem. You won't have a problem. So I want you to start creating that list of people, your friends, your family, church members, members of a club or an organization that you're a member of, your co-workers, all these people that you can think of. I just want you to write them down. As long as you have contact information or you can get in contact with them, I want that on a list. So if you run out of room on the list that I gave you, just flip it over on the back and continue making those lists. Because remember, the more names, the better for you to earn more free travel and additional perks, right? All right, guys. So next week, I'm going to teach you how to put all of this to work for you when we talk about the best ways to book your free travel and the advantages and disadvantages of those ways. So go ahead and download the PDFs and get to work. And remember, I will be in our group on Facebook Live on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our 1 hour Q&A. So I will see you then, guys.